China is committed to look for ways for maritime cooperation despite the Philippine Supreme Court's ruling that voided a 2005 oil exploration agreement in the West Philippine Sea. To tell us more, here's Zakarian Sarao reporting live. Zach?
Yes, Bay, even after a Philippine Supreme Court decision voided the 2005 oil exploration agreement in the West Philippine Sea, China is still committed to look for ways for maritime cooperation between the two countries. China did so through Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Wang Wenbin, who in a recent press briefing said, and I quote, China remains committed to properly handle maritime disputes in the South China Sea with countries directly concerned, including the Philippines, through dialogue and consultation, and to actively explore ways for practical maritime cooperation, including joint exploration. According to Wang, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. himself even agreed to resume joint oil and gas negotiations with Chinese President Xi Jinping during his state visit to Beijing. This was in accordance with the country's Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation on Oil and Gas Development signed in 2018. Wang further explained that the joint oil exploration deal was a vital step to implement the Declaration of Conduct in the South China Sea, which he said would play an important role in promoting stability, cooperation, and development in the region. To recall, the Philippine Supreme Court recently declared void and unconstitutional a 2005 agreement that allowed the Philippines, China, and Vietnam to conduct joint oil search in the West Philippine Sea and the contested South China Sea. Meanwhile, the Department of Foreign Affairs, or the DFA, said that it is already crafting parameters for future oil and gas exploration negotiations. According to the DFA, while it is studying the said Supreme Court decision, it is still, quote unquote, premature to discuss the case's legal implications on any future agreement with China, as substantive discussions have yet to commence. It added that it is currently in the process of setting the parameters that will guide such negotiations in the future. But the DFA gave assurance that its actions and policy recommendations are always anchored in the country's constitution and laws. It is worth reminding Bay that the Philippines has already validated its sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea following the decision of the Permanent Court of Arbitration to invalidate China's 9-line claim in the maritime area. China, however, has consistently refused to recognize the ruling. Chinese officials continue to insist that their country owned the area, ignoring a series of protests and demands made by the Philippine government for Chinese vessels to leave the West Philippine Sea. Back to you, Day.
Mhm. And Zach, I'm curious because the joint exploration deal among firms from the Philippines, China, and Vietnam was actually approved during the administration of former President and now Senior Deputy Speaker Gloria Arroyo. Have we heard from her regarding this SC ruling?
Yes, Bay, former President and now Senior Deputy Speaker Gloria Arroyo has commented on the said ruling. But the now Senior Deputy Speaker kept it short and simple, saying, and I quote, I respect the Supreme Court's decision.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Zach. That's Zakarian Sarao